Well, one of the stories we continue to track are the protests against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Even today, we have seen protests in various parts of the country, on campuses as well. Maybe not quite as fierce as they have been, say, a couple of days ago, but people are still voicing their concerns and still expressing their anger. And among those who have been doing that is also the film fraternity from across the country. Kamal Hassan has been one of the most vocal voices, and so has actor Sushant Singh, who joins us on NDTV this evening. Sushant Singh, you've been very vocal about opposing the Citizenship Amendment Act. It's actually rare to see people in the film industry normally speak out so strongly on such matters. So what made you decide to speak out?
I've been very disturbed since, for a long time. But past few days, I think the Jamia incident was a tipping point for me. The way students were beaten up so brutally, the way police stormed inside the campus, the library, and it was unbearable. And the hatred is increasing with each passing day. People are tearing each other apart. I had to speak up. It feels like we have reached a point of total breakdown. The system seems to have stopped working. So we need to sit, stop, need to talk, listen to each other, stop shouting. Something we need. I have questions. I don't know the answers, but I have reached my tipping point.
Well, Sushant, there's also a lot of anger on campuses, as you pointed out, about the way the Delhi police acted against the students at Jamia. Today, when you see students protesting like this, what do you think? Kamal Hassan also went to see them this evening. What message would you be giving to students today?
I would first of all request them to, be extra cautious about, number one, not getting violent yourself. Number two, not allowing external elements to, hijack your protests. Because violence will give police the reason, valid reason to beat you up, lock you up. And if we, the protesters, the people who are raising their voices, if we become violent, I think we've lost the cause. So let's not lose sight of the cause. Let's fight in a very non-violent way. Do not throw stones. Do not do any kind of violence. Sit down. Sit down on hunger strikes. Sit down on satyagraha. Because, it's very difficult to beat people up who are sitting down and not doing any kind of violent things. Also, I want to thank all the students. As an Indian, I was in a very hopeless situation. I thought our society had completely died because, and not just in last 5-6 years, even before that, we are so self-centered. The apathy towards each other is so great that I thought anybody can come and do whatever they want, and we never raise our voices. We never hit the streets until a Nirbhaya happens, or a Mandal Commission happens, or a Hyderabad happens, and then we go back to our small little holes inside our houses. So we are worthless people. I had lost all hope, and then I saw these young voices, the young blood, that no, we are not dead as a society. We still have the courage and the will to fight and reclaim our rights. So thank you all the students, but at the same time, please do not break my heart. Don't become violent. Don't succumb to violence. Otherwise, there will be no hope.
Everyone, though, Sushant, who is, protests these days or expresses dissent is often given labels like urban Naxal or anti-national, because there seems to be, very little tolerance for dissent. So how do you think we can get around these ugly labels that are thrown around in a democracy like ours?
We will have to keep talking to people, and not just through social media, because social media also at times is not a conversation. It's my point of view, and then I fight to defend that point of view. We will have to relearn the language of love, because even people who are talking about freedom of speech, rights, equal respect to all the religions, everything, even those people at times are falling into the same trap. We are using the language of hate. We are all tearing each other apart. That has to stop. Come out, talk to your neighbors. Convince them about what is wrong, what is right. Talk to each other. Don't shout at each other. It's a long process, and it has not happened overnight. It's been happening post-independence, the simmering hate towards each other, the Hindu-Muslim hatred. It has been happening for a very long time. And because of lack of education, lack of civic sense, lack of moral compass, slowly and slowly all values have been eroding. And no state government, no central government ever worked towards educating the masses, giving them the dignity of life. We've kept our poor poor, very poor, and we, the middle class, the rich class, we have very conveniently averted our eyes from that. We have never put pressure on any of the governments as to my tax money, which every Indian is paying, why the poor are not getting benefited by it, why their children are going to schools which don't have any amenities, which have teachers who can't teach. We've ignored our poor and the oppressed and the underprivileged for far too long, and all of us are responsible for the conditions which were rife for this kind of atmosphere. It will take a long time to heal, but we have to begin the healing. We have to talk. I don't have the answers. I have questions. I don't have the answers. I'm like, there's chaos inside, there's outside, inside.
You said that, everyone needs to calm down. So if you had to make an appeal to the government, would you urge them to talk to have a dialogue with the protesters?
Yes. Please, I beg the government. We might not agree with your viewpoint. We have the right to do that. But if you want to tell us that our thinking is wrong, you need to convince us. You can't just tell us that, no, you are wrong, and shut up, and, internet band, and we will not communicate to you, and if you raise your voices too loud, we will stop all communication altogether. That is not the solution. That is, you are creating pressure cookers, and they will burst, because we are all human beings. And oppression doesn't work. It has not worked. Historically, we have seen it has not worked anywhere, ever. So, no, let's talk. We can have differing viewpoints. We can. Why not talk? Why? I don't see why. Why can't we talk? Convince us that we are wrong. I'll be more than happy to change my stance. More than happy. I don't want to hate anyone. I don't want to protest. I want to live happily with my children, and feel very safe, secure. But we are not feeling safe. And a lot of people are not feeling safe. If it looks wrong, if it feels wrong, it must be wrong. Lakhs and lakhs of people, the whole of Northeast, so many students. We can't all be insane. And we don't want to go to any other country. We are not the enemy. So please do not treat us as enemies, everybody. That I can only appeal.
Right. Sushant, though, let me ask you, though, about your association with the long-running television show Savdhaan India, which has suddenly come to an end now. It's being speculated that this happened because you took part in these protests against the Citizenship Act. Is that true?
I don't know, really. I really don't know. My contract is ending on the 15th of January. So, and my contract says that I should get a month's termination notice. So I should have received a termination notice by 15th of December, which I did not. So I assumed that they must be wanting to renew my contract. I was not told anything about a last date of shooting. So on 16th was my wife's birthday, so it was a late night. I was awake till 2:15. And at 2:13 a.m. in the morning, I received a WhatsApp message from the concerned person in the channel who's been dealing with me that, sir, 20th may be our last date of shooting with you because there are some budget problems, etc., etc. And I said, so is the show taking a break, or am I being shunted out? So no, we can't lose you. You are the voice. So after 3 months, we'll be relaunching the show as of now. So I would love it if you would do voiceovers for us for next 3 months. So I had a long discussion, and then I said that this is not right. So I was very hurt, and so I'm still confused as to why did this happen. They have every right to. They are the producers. They own the program. They have every right. As a professional, I respect that. And I still have not received my official notice of termination. So I'm contractually bound to give dates for shooting till 15 January, which as a professional I'll do. But then I guess that's it. So maybe I'm not working out for the show. So I have to accept it.
Well, finally, Sushant, many of Bollywood's big stars, like the three Khans, for example, still haven't spoken out. Shah Rukh Khan, in fact, studied at Jamia, and their silence is being noticed. Do you think they should be speaking out?
I know. I have been following social media. I am nobody to judge them. I don't know what is at stake for them. I have been talking to other actors also. So some are genuinely in favor of this act. I was talking to another co-star, co-actor. So he agreed to all the points I raised as to, what about Indian Muslims if they don't have papers and they are not able to prove that they were born here, and they are living on footpath, and they are immigrants roaming from state to state. If they don't have papers, if there's a mismatch in the spelling on Aadhaar card and the birth certificate, and if they are thrown into detention centers, but they are genuine, and we have seen that in the last NRC. What happens to them? Who will be caught? The poorest of the poor. Because the people with means, they always find a way. What about them? So he agreed with everything. Well, yes, I know. But then what is the solution if not this bill? And I had no answer. For a moment I thought, since I can't offer a solution, I shouldn't raise the problem. But no, that is not right. If I see something is wrong, I need to speak up. Those who are not speaking but are against this bill, I can only say this, that my friend, I understand stakes are very high. Your career, your life, everything. But what I see at stake right now is our country's future, the very fabric of the Constitution, and the future of my children. Our life is more than half over. If we don't raise our voice today because we are scared about losing something today, please consider that you are stealing something away from your children's tomorrow. So,
all right, Sushant Singh, as outspoken as ever, thanks very much for joining us on Left, Right and Centre tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Nidhi.